who want us to be fighting amongst each other in Africa? Because there are a lot of questions you need to ask. You need to come out from your high horse, leave your hatred, and ask yourself questions. They keep saying Africa is bad. There are some, I've seen some videos, right? When a white person or a
They've been
black
saying that for
American,
a long
yeah,
time.
yes. When they said come to Africa, they say, wow, this is not actually what we used to see.
Yeah.
You see? Now, this is the news. When somebody encounter a Nigerian or come to Nigeria, I say, wow, this is not what we see in the media. But they have actually painted our image, our country so
Yeah.
bad that nobody wants to come close. Can you tell us about your experience with a Nigerian, if you've had any experience?
Okay, I've had plenty of experiences with Nigerians. A g-
Good and bad, just spill it.
yeah, I was fortunate enough to grow up around like a lot of African cultures. Grew up around a lot of kids like me who came over to the U.S. from different countries. I've mostly had very good experiences with Nigerians, and this is since I was a child.
Hi guys, welcome to Vic Influential Podcast. Today we have an incredible guest in our midst. So I hope you are going to enjoy today's section and discussion with us. And if today is your first time joining me, please subscribe, share this video, and be part of our growing community. So my incredible guest is from Cape Verde. I told you guys that we would like to be connecting with every part of Africans and having different Africans to discuss and share our common differences and the relationship that we have as Africans. So I would like you to meet my guest, Mr. Michael.
Thanks for having me, Victor.
Yes, welcome. How was your journey?
It was long. It was really long.
Yeah, I heard that you just come into Dubai.
Yeah, I just got here 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
I was in Cape Verde, back home, and then I came through Senegal, then stopped in Ghana for a few days,
Mm.
and then to Nairobi, and then eventually over here to Dubai.
That's like how many hours?
That's like a few days.
I hope you are enjoying our weather, right?
Yeah. It's hot. It's really hot. I it's I think it's too hot for most people, but I'm I'm kind of used to it in some sense. I've been in places where
Right.
it's just as hot, so I find ways to enjoy it, going for runs in the heat and stuff.
Yeah. So you're from Cape Verde?
Yeah. I was born in Cape Verde. I moved to the US when I was young, but then I have a lot of my mom's family was also in the US, so I grew up around them. So I was always involved in the culture, and then since I was 15, I've always been going back periodically. And my parents lived there since I was 13. I have half of my siblings are there, half of my siblings are in the U.S. So I go back and forth. But I would say, for the most part, though, I spent most of my life in the U.S.
Is there anything you can tell us about Cape Verde? I heard that your language is Portuguese, right? Your national language?
No, it was, but we've always had Criollo. That's what we speak.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's not what was advertised for a long time. But I know that now we've made Criollo the official written language.
Yeah.
And now their writings, and they've made like a dictionary in Criollo. But yeah, largely for convenience, we still use Portuguese.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to speak, unless you're speaking with like a Portuguese speaking foreigner, or like Angolan speak Portuguese, people from Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau. But yeah, otherwise, Criollo is the official language.
And this is West Africa.
Yeah, it's actually the furthest West African country.
Yeah.
We're not mainland, so we're a group of islands off the coast of Senegal. It's 10 islands, and 9 of them are inhabitable. One is a desert.
And you know the crazy part is the population. Population is like 500,000. Not up to a million, right?
Yeah, it feels like, I won't lie, it feels like it's less and less every year.
Less and less.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Um,
what is crazy? I said it's crazy. What is crazy is that it's like one church in Nigeria. If I'm going to say redeem, yes. If I'm going to say redeem, it's like one of the crazy church in Lagos. Now, is they're not making it work there. How can less than a million people made it work? How could you guys cope? How did you guys cope?
um, Honestly, I mean, I have some theories, but yeah, I mean, it's small, so I think when the population is that small, um, it tends to be easier to form like community.
Mm.
Um, you know, very patriotic and very proud of where we come from. But it's a particular situation because yeah, there are around 500,000 in Cape Verde, and last year there were more like 600,000. So 60% of the youth left
The left
just
male.
last year.
So in your country
Yeah.
is not legal to marry like more than one woman.
Nah,
Huh?
nah, nah.
So you cannot marry more than only one woman.
No, only one. I think
Should try to populate the country as soon as possible.
no, I mean the country's plenty populated, trust me. There's like plenty us losing so many people, it's due to like
So you're not scared of going extinct or people leaving the country.
no, no. Actually, I was very concerned about this because I just got
Because
there.
500 people is like,
I got there like 6, 7 months ago. And when I arrived, I found out about this. And I was like, I was getting really worried. The country has like less people. You can feel it. But I found out that this isn't the first time that it's happened.
okay,
So this is actually the third time. And it happened once during the 70s. The second time it happened in the 90s was actually when I was a kid. And I realized that me and my family were a part of that group
that
of people
left.
that left.
Uh.
And then it's happening again. But every time we've replenished our ranks, and despite there only being 500,000, over a million Cape Verdeans are actually out in the world. So there's more outside the country than
Than
inside.
inside the country. So you guys have like a visa free to US? Because
No,
I'm
no, no.
thinking,
We need
how
a
is it
visa.
easy for you to go there?
We need a visa. I don't know the details behind that, but I think we
I
had
don't
a,
I don't want to think that the United States want you guys out of your country. I just want to think that. But let's go to the other part.
now. Now I don't now it's different, but I think for a while it seemed like it's again, I don't know the details, so this is just a theory, but it seemed like we had a pretty good relationship with some of these countries, some of the first world countries. So like I think we had a good
Do you have US
reputation.
military base there?
Um, I believe there was one. I don't think I don't know about now, but I think there was one. Yeah, yeah, there was. Actually,
Yeah.
I've met guys who were in the military who
Now
was
I'm concerned.
stationed in Cape Verde, but it was a long time ago. But you should know we're a very peaceful country. Even even when we were liberated, I guess on Cape Verde there was no fighting on the mainland. Like it was very peaceful. Um, Amilcar Cabral, he's the one that liberated us and helped liberate other African countries such as Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau.
Smaller people to get independence without fighting a civil war. I think you guys should teach us what you did.
Well, I think the most important thing that Amilcar was able to do is he was able to actually like unify and organize.
Mhm.
So the way we were able to do it, right, is we didn't do it alone. Like we banded together with Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, and Angola, even as far as they were. So the fact that we all pushed back against the Portuguese at the same time is what helped lead to like a simultaneous liberation for all these countries. And I think it's not a well-known story, but there's a big lesson in there,
All right.
like what can be achieved
Mhm, mhm,
if we can set aside differences and come together.
mhm. What other country have you lived in?
I've lived in the U.S., lived in Kenya, lived in South Africa.
Tell us about South Africa. As a Nigerian, I'm interested.
Why are you
I'm interested. Tell us
why
about South Africa.
why are you interested in South Africa as a
No, I
Nigerian?
want to know how is it living there as somebody who is not South African citizen.
So obviously I didn't live all over South Africa. I was mainly just in Joburg.
Yeah,
Um, I can tell you it's nice. It's very nice, but also it can be dangerous. So it's not like Dubai where you can just go walking outside by yourself
but
at
you've
like
been
4
to
in the
Cape Town.
morning. Yeah, I've been to Cape
It's a
Town.
beautiful place, right?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very beautiful. But I'll tell you, South Africa was interesting mostly because I grew up in the US. And what you see is there's a lot of parallels
Mm,
as well as like exact opposites. So I'll say that South Africa and the US,
mm,
as much as people don't like to admit it, and I don't argue with anyone who hasn't lived in both, they're like two sides of the same coin.
all right.
Some things are strangely similar, um, like the oppression, um, and even like the racist systems that were embedded, and even the effects that they've had. But then there are huge differences. Like in the US, um, black people were a minority.
Mm.
In South Africa, black people are the majority. So you have things like that that create different dynamics. And then they have what's very interesting, the whole like, how they have a whole colored culture, black African culture, and then like white culture. Not necessarily Africana,
This
but
colored culture in South Africa, I heard it made them cancel some of the podcasts. One of the popular podcasts there was canceled
really,
because of somebody said something on the air. One of the guys said something on the air about the colored guys, and they were canceled. I don't. Is there any? Because I'm a Nigerian, right?
yeah,
So we don't have this like colored culture or you white, just Nigerians. Our everyday activities just like the same. We don't
mhm,
have this kind of discrimination about people that came from other part of the world.
yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about this colored culture or colored? How is it? How is it?
A bit. So from what I've seen and from what, talking to South Africans, colored and non-colored, I'm not speaking for anyone,
Yeah.
but it's so right, there's like a separation between colored, which are like mixed people.
The
And I'll say that
Indians.
they're heavily mixed. Like you have backgrounds from Asia to Africa to wherever. It's like very mixed. But they have their own culture and their own communities. And black people have their own, and then like white people have their own. Whereas in the US, if you're if you're mixed with black, if you have even a little bit of like black ancestry, whatever, and it shows, um, you're just considered black. Like you have the one drop rule. So like you're just accepted into the black community. Whereas like, you can even like most of the time white people won't accept, like they won't accept you. But colored is like they don't identify with the white or the black people. Like they
Mm,
have their very own um and it's not just a race thing. It like
yeah.
falls way outside of that. Um so in the US, right? Like if you have mixed race background, they consider you mixed,
Mm,
right? Um you're not necessarily part of either community, but like you can almost kind of choose based on like where you are and who you're with
yeah.
culturally.
Yeah.
Especially if you're black. Like I said, the African American community will take you in, right? And then say, okay, Cape Verde, like I know there's been controversy about this. So we're also like pretty mixed, although it's mostly African. Um, we have other background, but we've been there for like 600 years, right?
Mm.
And when you go to Cape Verde, there's
Sign of people that have been there for a long time.
there's just no like, there's no real separation.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you have
Okay.
in the same family or
Mm,
whatever. There's be like really dark skin to light skin, different hair texture, eye
mm.
color, whatever. But like, there's no real division. Like, we have like called like samba judo. They call you that if you're like really light skin.
Another ethnicity?
This is like the kind of division we have. There you have Sampa Judo, which is like more light skin, and then Badio is like more dark skin. There's like cultures behind it, but there's no bad blood. There's no
I get that.
crazy political, like people really like live
Mm,
in harmony there. And then you go to South Africa and like the whites, blacks, and the colors are all split up. And it's a culture. So like when I was in South Africa, people thought I was colored, and then I would say like, no, I'm black. African, I'm from here, and just based off the fact that I wasn't from South Africa, like I don't have family there, and I didn't grow up there. They didn't consider me colored anymore.
all right.
So there's like a concept
Mm,
behind. It's more than just like how you look. It's
mm,
like
mm,
appearance is one thing, but if you're not from South Africa,
mm.
they're not going to consider you colored
All right.
for like looking a certain like people who are colored there.
All right. You're a business person, right? You own some business. Have you traveled like some other part of Africa that
I'm
is not West Africa?
I'm trying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Definitely spent quite a bit of time in East Africa.
yeah. So, but there are some, as an African, right? We don't have a common currency like the Europeans do,
Mm,
like some South Americans do. How
okay.
do you find it doing business in Africa with multiple currencies? How does it work? Like
Changing
if you come,
changing currencies will make your head spin.
mm,
Like it's always like it always feels like a chore. Somebody tells you like, yeah, 150 cities. I'm like, all right, gotta like look at my calculator.
mm.
Every
So
time like dealing with different numbers. It's annoying, but I wouldn't say it's the worst thing.
do you feel
It's
like it's affecting business in Africa?
the currencies.
If you're from Nigeria, going in Ghana, you need another currency. If you're going South Africa, you need another currency. If you're going Kenya, you need another currency.
I can't say exactly because I don't have the stats on that, but
Mm.
but I will say
From your experience.
from my experience, every time I change currencies, I lose some money, so that's not fun. And if I don't enjoy it, I'm sure
Mm.
nobody else
Yeah,
enjoys
yeah.
it. Yeah, so anytime you're changing currency, whoever's changing it for you, they take their cut. Um, and I've started to think recently, because it's been a while now, how much money I've lost just changing currencies.
Tell us about your business.
Um, okay, so currently I run an Airbnb business, a partner, called Mavali Homes. And it's currently we're just based in Kenya. But we also recently started a farm called Salucha Farm. So it's been small business so far. We tried other things that didn't work, and this seems to be working well. But I had kind of put a pause in it to go back home and just help out my mom. So I was able to, get her a car and then fix one of the apartments. Like my dad, we own them, but like my dad passed away, and so I went back to finish one of the places he worked on it for 10 years. He wasn't
Sorry
able
to
to.
hear that.
It's like it's a part of life. He's at peace now, but I took a pause to go and just focus on family and help. And now that that's done, I'm here in Dubai
Mm,
and hoping to continue with the Airbnbs while my business partner focuses on the farm.
okay.
Mhm.
So, what countries do you have your businesses? Here in Dubai and in Kenya?
Yeah, so far just here in Kenya.
Is there any how they found you? They just, when they go to Airbnb, how do they find you?
Yeah, we just Airbnb. I mean, we thought we were gonna have to do a lot more, but from our first one, it ended up working out a lot better than we
Mhm.
expected. So it's to the point where we're getting so much business that we don't actually need to advertise it.
Is there anything that separates you from other business, or there's like a law that bind everything? Is there anything that separates you, like why your business is moving?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. I think, you know, our personalities, um, me and my business partner, and that's my most recent business partner, Makita. Um, I think the way we're able to think and be flexible, and our analytical skills,
Mm,
definitely makes a huge difference. I think it's something that I maybe didn't realize about myself because when I started, it was an experiment,
mm,
but I was seeing that I was able to provide something different. That it's not that no one is doing it, but I realize most people don't think like I do.
mm.
Um, they're not. There's things that I'm willing to do. I realize that other people are not, and my ability to compromise and to work as a team, and also to lead moments when I need to.
So you got reviews after somebody check out. You got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
reviews. How's the reviews? If you'll be honest,
5 stars, all
five
five
stars.
stars. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Became super host very quickly. It's all 5 stars. It's continued 5 stars, and that's not to say that there weren't issues. But we just handled things the way we thought was normal,
mm,
which was your client tells you there's an issue, you communicate to them,
okay,
and
to
you
fix it.
let them know you're on top of it,
Yeah,
and you try to fix it.
yeah.
Later on, I started to realize that this isn't how,
Others do this.
at least like I thought it's just like bare minimum, you're running a business, you do
Mm,
your part, you
mm.
keep your clients happy. So yeah, I guess we work really hard to take care of anything if it comes up. Like we'll respond within minutes usually.
Okay,
Um,
now you just expanded in Dubai, right?
we just started in Dubai. Yeah, I'm currently we've been looking at places and we've done analysis and ran the numbers. And then I'm currently going through my application for Emirates ID and all that, which is going well. Just
Mm.
like one more week.
What kind of apartment do you want to be offering?
Um, so I want to start with 1 bedroom,
Okay.
but I usually prefer 2 bedrooms, mostly just because
Are you
the
going to be offering 2 bedrooms,
yeah, definitely.
fully furnished?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We don't want to just do like a few. Like I want to stay here a long time and just keep going. Like we want to have a lot of Airbnbs.
Which part of Dubai?
For now, we do feel like it makes sense to focus on the, you know, parts that are already doing well. So like
Mm,
Business Bay, Marina. I know JVC is on the come up. These areas, but then after a while, I think we can try and expand because we've also been talking to people who have had success in areas that were kind of unexpected.
mm.
So I definitely want to look into that. But for now, yeah, I want to focus on the well-known areas.
All right. Because I've seen videos. Most people checking Airbnb. Like I've seen all most. Let me not say all. Most Airbnb videos I've seen, they're all going downtown, 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 like Business Bay. I
Yeah.
don't know what is special about Business Bay. Maybe you can see most things. I don't know,
No, man,
but I think most people choose there.
Business Bay is popping. Business Bay will always be top. Like it doesn't matter
Mm,
what other area they make, like you can always have success in Business Bay if
yeah.
you do it correctly. Like I've heard of some companies already. I've heard of some companies that like we're not paying the landlord the rent, and I don't know what was happening because it's like how do you not make money in this place? But that goes back to what I was saying. I think some people can be
Mm,
stubborn and maybe not willing to budge on certain things. Um, There's some people that don't even think to lower their price during low season,
mm.
but then they're wondering why they don't have any
Okay,
customers.
okay, okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, I feel like Business Bay is the safest bet,
Mm.
and then there's other areas too you can
And you
check.
have if customer contact you anytime, you are available to provide.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Okay.
Um,
Now let's talk about my country, the
okay.
haters part. We've been having so much backlash on the internet. Nobody wants to
Oof.
hear about Nigeria. It's like so many bad things that has to tag with us. When you
Yeah.
see a Nigerian, it looks like you've seen the worst in life. Can you tell us about your experience with a Nigerian if you've had any experience?
Okay, I've had plenty of experiences with Nigerians. A g-
Good and bad. Just spill it.
yeah, I was fortunate enough to grow up around like a lot of African cultures. Grew up around a lot of kids like me who came over to the US, different countries. I've mostly had very good experiences with Nigerians. And this is since I was a child. Um, I've had one moderately bad experience. This guy is still one of my closest friends today, but we were young. And what had happened was actually pretty funny. So, like, I don't even hold that against this guy. Like,
Mm,
we have very good relationship. Um, in a nutshell, because this story is actually very funny. So it was COVID. COVID had hit. So all these like people were
mm,
losing jobs, and I guess like his job had shut down,
mm.
and he kind of panicked because there's a friend from since high school. We're living together with other friends from high school, and he wasn't able to pay the rent anymore. He needed to move back home. But it's like these are like lines of maturity where like he could have talked to us about it. Like we're all friends. Like
Mm.
we're not gonna hate you because you can't pay the rent. Like we understand. Like it's COVID. Like so this guy this guy started like moving out his furniture
Without telling you guys.
slowly, but like in the middle of the night. And you imagine where we lived and where his mom lived, it was 2 hours away. So he was going in the middle of the night, moving furniture out piece by piece. And my other roommate, he's also Cape Verdean, and he was like, he's like, I was hearing stuff in the middle of the night. And he's like, I think he's trying to move out. I'm like, nah, he wouldn't do that. And then next thing you know, one day we wake up,
The room
all
is
his
empty.
stuff is gone, and we're receiving a text message.
Sorry, man.
Yo, yo.
So it has to be like
That
this. I'm
was
gone.
rough. Yeah, he was like, I can't pay this and that. We went back and forth. I wasn't too upset because I had already had so many bad experiences living with people by then who were not Nigerian, right? So you're not just gonna have bad experiences with Nigerians. Like
You're not gonna have.
you're not just gonna have bad experience with like because you're talking about
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you can have bad experience with anyone. So when it happened, I was actually calm because I had experienced much worse with other people. But like I said, this was years ago. Still one of my best friends. I recently went to go see him in Detroit when I was in the US. Um, so that was probably the worst experience I've had around a Nigerian.
This is like a siblings quarrel.
Hmm?
I said it's like siblings quarrel
Yeah.
because the way you said it, this is not what they're painting about us. If this is the experience everybody have about Nigerians, I think all Nigerians will be honey. But what they're talking about Nigerians is not. It's like the worst thing that ever happens to everybody
Yeah.
in this world gets to do with Nigerians doing
Yeah.
that. So it has gotten to the extent that when you tell somebody here that you're Nigerian, the person will be looking at you like because some African have told them, hey, you're Nigerian. It's crazy because
Mhm.
even in the metro, metro? I'll be in the metro train.
Yeah.
I've heard some other Africans one time giving another friend advice, please stay away from Nigerians, they're bad news. I'm just like, what the I don't
Damn.
so it has
That's
gotten to
gotta hit
that
different.
extent that even led me to start making inquiry because I'm a Nigerian. I don't know how bad I am. I needed to know. I started asking
Yeah.
people, this experience, please, can you enlighten me how bad we are to the rest of the world? Because it's like what they're doing right now is what they don't know. It's like they're trying to annihilate Nigerian dignity at the world stage. And
Yeah.
it's not nice.
No, it's not good. And people have this habit. Like I don't like to do this. People have this habit where they will speak more on what they don't know versus what they actually do. So in a lot of things, you'll hear like people telling you, don't do this, don't go around these people. Oh, I heard they're like this. They're preaching it. But then you can ask these people what their experience have been. They can tell you they've never been there, or they've never done that, or they've never been around someone from that country.
Mm.
Right. And what we're seeing is the same thing. Because I haven't heard anyone like myself who also knows Nigerians personally say the same thing.
But you've heard it on the internet,
I've
scrolling,
heard it on
scrolling
the
there.
internet,
So much, right?
and I've heard it from people who I know don't know any Nigerians. Like, it's bad, but like,
This is a crazy bad PR.
yeah, it's really bad PR. Like, I've even heard from like, I've even heard like my mom, because like Nigerians are coming. She'll say something. She heard Nigerians this and that, but I know my mom doesn't know any Nigerians. She knows like one. So I was like, Mom, like you don't you don't know what you're talking about. Like the Nigerians I know have been like this and this and this. Like, then she'll come down. But usually people don't have someone around them
The most hospitable people in Africa.
to be like, hold on.
I did this show where I said that this is targeted attack.
Yeah.
And why I feel like it's targeted attack is not only that these people are the most populous nation in Africa, that aside, they are also vibrant, they are very loud, they are quick to call you out, they're not going to take your shit. So there is this propaganda that I have started that you need to paint Nigerians bad. People will bring out front, do a campaign to actually make, for instance, make Putin look good, make Putin look like a dictator.
Yeah,
That is a
yeah.
bad PR. And people don't understand that it was a campaign. There was a funding for it.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, guaranteed 100%, this is what is going on now. This is what is happening to Nigerians.
But then let me ask, who do you think is doing this?
Who is it going to benefit? That is the question. If it happens that nobody wants Nigerian, who is going to benefit from it? You understand?
Yeah.
If it happens that everywhere you see Nigerians, you are going to look at them as a bad person before you actually have a counter with him,
Mm-hmm.
who is going to benefit?
Yeah.
Who want us to be fighting amongst each other in Africa? Because there are a lot of questions you need to ask. You need to come out from your high horse, leave your hatred, and ask yourself questions. They keep saying Africa is bad. I've seen some videos, right? When a white person or a
They've been
black
saying that for
American,
a long time.
yes. When they said come to Africa, they say, wow, this is not actually what we used to see.
Yeah.
You see? Now, this is the news. When somebody encounter a Nigerian or come to Nigeria, I say, wow, this is not what we see in the media. But they have actually painted our image, our country so
Yeah.
bad that nobody wants to come close.
Okay. What I think is actually happening is I think you guys are experiencing overexposure. Right? There's even some celebrities that talk about this where they've learned from other celebrities not to be overexposed because it can turn bad. So they spend time where like they actually try and stay away
Are
from the media.
Nigerians going to be more exposed than Americans, than
No, but
UK,
just so you understand,
France?
So since let's say since COVID, right?
Mhm.
Like Afro beats started going crazy. You guys, because even okay, South Koreans were like on the rise, with like BTS and K-pop and all that, and even they'll say like Afro beats just
Swoop everything.
wiped it from under them, right? So Afrobeats became like top
Mm.
globally, especially for any kind of African music. And I remember then too, everything you started hearing about Nigerians. I've always known Nigerians, but I never heard about Nigerians in the media the way that I was since 2020, right? And it
Mhm.
at the time it was good things. You're like Nigerians this, and then like Afrobeats artists start winning awards. Think about this now, even like Nigerian actors or anything, right? Like you guys became world famous, like world famous. And I think next to Ghana, you guys were people think Africa, they think Nigeria. Even in when I was in Kenya, you would say West Africa, they would directly go to Nigeria. Like, you know what I mean? The same way there's a lot of guys complaining because
Mm.
the Nigerian men are taking their
They're women. Is that a
right?
problem?
Right? And so like you guys have so much clout. You have so much clout, but you know what happens like in any case I've seen basically when it starts seeming like you're winning, it's like with success,
Mm.
bro, people start to become really
There is
envious.
opposite side of everything.
People become, you know how envy works. Anyone that's gone to the top, suddenly, even the same people that were happy to see them go to the top, which I'm sure when Afrobeats was coming up, a lot of Africans were like, yo, like, it's an African country, like on
Mm.
the map. They're like putting African music on the map now, like we're competing, everything. Those same people start they don't want to see you win anymore. Now they want to bring you down. And I think then the more negative sides
Mm.
started coming out. What they talk about, like scams or this or that, and Nigerians this or that. And it's like they're being focused on for something that
Negative side of everything.
for negative stuff that you find in so many different countries, honestly. Like, okay, like even in right, I hear ex Nigeria is like there's a lot of Indian scams as well, right? Like I'm not trying to say anything,
I
but it's
get it.
right. But you're not hearing about that in the media.
Yeah. No,
Nobody's talking about
I
that.
always say
Like,
that. I always say that the only people promoting this are only Africans. You
yeah,
understand? If you see 10 videos saying shit about Nigeria, you're going to see 8 videos done
yeah,
by Africans. You understand? So they don't know what the problem is.
yeah. Because you think about it, and that makes sense. Like with like what I was saying, it's like where would that envy come from? It's not going to come from white people. Their culture is different. They don't look like us, or Asians, like or South American. Like the only thing they can be jealous of, if that, is that like the music is top, but they're like really enjoying the music. But the other Africans are close enough. They're close enough where like an appearance
Mm.
and our roots, our background from the same mainland. Like the only other people that look like you guys. But instead of seeing our own countries, we're seeing Nigerian, 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 Nigerian. A lot of people, don't even know how to be happy for their own friends.
I understand. I understand envy is a
You
crazy stuff. Yeah.
imagine trying to be happy for a whole different country, and you're seeing winning. You're seeing these guys that I've been in clubs with them. Like it's dope. Like I think it's dope. They be in the clubs. They get bottles, have girls, whatever. But like, yo, a lot of people say in that country will go and they can't afford to get a bottle and have shorties around.
Until
You're
like
seeing the
it's the
Nigerian
Nigerians
guys
doing that. Wow, he's a
every
drug dealer.
time. And you're seeing like obviously you understand that's where
Yeah,
it's coming
yeah,
from.
yeah.
I think it's because obviously, yes, there are some bad things happening. Like that's again, like with any race
Mm.
or any country, you can find that stuff, right? We're human
Most
beings.
people don't know that.
But that's where like that hate starts coming from.
Most people don't know
Stop
that.
praising because now people are seeing you have something that they don't.
All right, it's okay, but we're here to call them out, right? Because it's becoming too much and we cannot take it anymore.
You need to
Yeah.
push back. I
Yeah,
think you
we
need
need
to
to
push
push
back,
back. Yeah.
especially because, like you said, come on, like how people hate you and you haven't even done anything. The
It's
math is not.
it's
It's
crazy.
not mathing.
Yeah, my own is we are not the Nigerians are not the people that made your country the way it is because we understand the way all Africans are. We
Mhm.
know how any country you go to, if you go to Nigeria, we know what you're going to see. When they say Africa is poor, then they're not mentioning any African country. They said Africa. When they want to show poor place in a CNN, you're going to see a black kid,
Yeah.
and that is representing the whole Africa, right? So your fight is directed at the wrong place. Ask questions that need to be asked. Serious question. Our image, we need to showcase what it is now. I saw that some of the African officials right now, AU, are doing some campaign to change African map. That the current African map that they're using right
Yeah,
now
it's
is
too
the wrong
small.
map. Yeah,
It's way
that
too
they
small.
actually they make serious campaign. They're actually talking about it
Yeah.
in the medias that we need the real African map.
Yeah.
And if this thing could be done to Africa for as long as it takes, nobody knew when they wrote this present map right now.
Hmm.
What is the lie that they are telling us that we don't know? This is the question you should be asking. Why do I have so many resources that I have, natural resources that I have? I am here. We're saying 30% of unemployment, 10% of unemployment. We're not supposed to be counting that. You cannot have so much natural resources more than Singapore. If I want to use DR Congo to compare to Singapore, DR Congo have more natural resources than Singapore. Look at both
Yeah,
countries,
you
man.
look at France's gold deposit.
So
Despite France not having any gold in the
seriously, man,
ground.
South Africa has one of the highest gold deposit reserve, diamond
Yeah.
reserve still.
Uh,
So they should start asking the right
especially
questions and
chrome.
leave
South
Nigeria
Africa
alone.
supplies like I think somewhere over 80% of the world's chrome.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But you know, it's sad, but it's true. Where it's like, you know, most people are not capable of thinking like that, and that's not to hold anything against anyone. Like as human beings, we're all built differently, and this is why leadership is so important. Like most
But
people,
we have to start now, man. We have to start telling them, educating them, pushing them.
yeah, I mean, but something else has to end before we can start, because you look at the engine, the the way that this engine is going, right, with the corruption and everything. We have to first get that engine to stop moving in that direction, and then get it going in the other, because there's, come on, like your life can be at risk for trying to improve some of
Yeah,
these
I get.
countries.
Yeah,
Especially if you're from that country,
yeah.
your life is definitely at risk if you try to do anything to improve.
I
Uh,
get it.
but hopefully, you look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso,
Mm.
and you're seeing some of the effects that it's having, like for those countries. Um, and hopefully, they can take a lesson from that and improve things, because I think people are led to believe that a
Mm.
win-win situation does not exist, and it's not true. They exist all over the place.
Yes.
And you can see even the people, like, even like, all right, all these huge companies, you see, like, companies in the US or Europe, they create these win-win situations all the time.
For people that I want to ask the question,
Yeah.
what is important
But
to
some people
us?
think, I think what's sad is like a lot of what's going on, with politicians and everything, like they believe that they need to like take everything from themselves
Mm.
first in order to be winning. But like they actually have opportunities where if they work with others and create some sort of opportunities, but
Mm.
then they have certain ownership and shares, they create a situation where they would have even more money than they have now, and the country would be doing much better, where everyone wins. Like it's very possible. But again, this is why leadership, um, it's invaluable, because it can determine a lot. And I'll tell you, being in some of these places, you see how some people are suffering, and when you look at the reasons, you realize that it's not
It's
it's not
heartbreaking.
it's not necessary.
It's heartbreaking.
That's because it's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's like you said, with resources, everything we have, it can actually be so much better for everyone.
Yeah. If they start looking inward and start asking the right
Even the
questions.
person who's stealing the money,
Mm.
there's actually situations that's better for them while being better for everyone else, and we're not going towards it.
All right.
Uh,
I want to bring today's segment to a close. Marco, it's been nice speaking with you. It's actually nice speaking with you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. I hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, this was great.
And none of my sisters have broken your heart since, right? You've had any bad experience with my sisters?
No,
Are you sure?
no, positive. I there was one time in London. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But no bad experiences.
All right. Okay. Thank you for having you, Mr. Marco.
Thanks for having me, Victor. Pleasure.
All right, guys. Thank you for staying. If you actually watched throughout all the video, and if you have, please drop your comments, like, and share this video, and see you next on Vic Influential. Thank you.